I had been living my life oblivious to the fact that the Pentel brush pens came out with new colors until one of my amazing subscribers let me know that there were 6 new colors in 2023 and 6 new colors in 2024. Did you know that? Now, since I've already reviewed the previous 24 colors of the Pentel brush pens, in this video, I want to do more than just a review. I will show you the new colors and give you 5 ideas to fill your notebook using these small brush pens. First, here's a little history as I know it. So these are the original colors. There are 12 of them. They came out many years ago, a long time. When I started in 2016, these were the only colors of Pentel, and they were so great. They're awesome small brush pens, really juicy, really great colors. In fact, I'm pretty sure these were the only small brush pens that had lots of colors. Many of the colorful small brush pens had not come out yet. So these were really awesome. I have been recommending Pentel brush pens to beginners for a long time because they are really beginner friendly. They're easy to use. They're great for practice. And then what happened in 2020, they came out with 12 new colors, and it was a big deal. It was all over YouTube, all over Instagram. Everybody was so excited about these new colors because we hadn't seen new colors. So this was very exciting. It felt like everyone was talking about these new colors. And so that's why I was so surprised that I hadn't even heard that there were new ones again. Like, why is nobody talking about them? I did get a comment just a couple weeks ago saying, I have not seen one video about them. Hope you do one. So here we go. I'm making the video. Let's get people talking about them. The 2024 colors are fluorescent, and then from 2023, I've seen on Pentel's website, they're either called vacation colors or vibrant colors. And all of the Pentel brush pens have a sparkly finish, and that's no different with these as well. The neons have a black base, and all of the other ones have this gray base. Let's get started with the first page to fill your notebook. So you're going to grab your pens and your notebook. I'm using my Archer and Olive notebook, and this is a way that I like to see all of the colors that I have. Instead of doing swatches though, I'm doing a word. So it's kind of like swatches, but just choose any word. I chose create, and then I am going to fill up the page with the word create in all the different colors that I have. You may not have this many colors, and that's okay. You can just fill up the page with the colors that you do have, but the point is fill up the whole page. And I'm not even doing different styles here. We're going to do some different styles in the next page, but for this one, I'm doing the same style. It's an uppercase print style, really simple. Also, for this page, I grouped them by the set that they came with. Later on, you'll see that I tried to put them in order of how the colors would go if they were all mixed in together. By the way, I did count my dot grid here to make sure I would be able to fit a full set of 12 colors in one column. Sometimes I'm writing out my colors and I have to finish a few colors in the new column, and it kind of bothers me because I just want to see them all down the line. So if you have an A5 Archer and Olive notebook, you can do 3 dots per word to fit 12 colors in one column. And that's another reason I wanted to do uppercase for this, because I wanted them all to be the same size and fill in the full space. So if I was doing a script font, then there would be a lot more white space in between each word, and that's okay if that's what I want it to look like. But for this one, I really just wanted it to be filled up. So the letters are uppercase, they're all fitting at the same size. I am noticing that some of these new ones are dried out a little bit, and I'm going to talk more about that, but here is the final piece for page 1. So here, let's do the fluorescent colors. I'm going to do different styles in this one. The first style is loopy and flourishy, and maybe you can tell the color isn't fully vibrant because it's kind of drying out, and these are brand new. So I don't know if these are just faulty brush pens or if it's something with the neon ink, but I noticed it with the vacation colors as well. It's just weird that the ones from 2020 and before are still super inky, and yet these brand new ones are kind of dried out. I don't know. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later. So as I'm coming up with these different styles, I'm just thinking through how can it be different from the last style that I just did. I'm using the word bright for the fluorescent. That's why I have these stars, which would be really cute, I thought. And then I'll do the little polka dots and stars around it. And then the next one, I'm doing tall and skinny because my first one was round and wide. So tall and straight for the green one. And then the next one, I was thinking maybe shorter but wider. So I'm just thinking, how can it be different from the one before? What are different elements that I can change about it? And then for this last one, I wanted to do a lowercase print, but make it even thicker. And so I'm doing extra downstrokes to make it more chunky. So that is how I come up with different styles. I'm just thinking, what are the tiny little details I can change? For page number 3, I'm pulling out these animal stencils that I got at Walmart forever ago. And funny story, I one time thought that I had decluttered them, and I was freaking out, and I was looking at Walmart or Amazon or anywhere to try and find something like these, and I couldn't find anything. And then I found them tucked away, and I was so grateful. I knew I couldn't have decluttered these. These were so special to me when I first started. I know it's a random funny thing, but I was really into hand lettering inside a silhouette, and so I found these in the paint section at Walmart, and I thought they would be perfect for my hand lettering. And so I had done a lot of these on Instagram. Maybe like 2016, 2018 Instagram me, and I was using these and lettering inside them. I never got through the whole set, but I still really love these. And so I decided for this page, I wanted to go back to my roots and do some of these stencils and letter inside them. So if you happen to have some stencils like this, pull them out. If not, you can just draw any shape or find any other stencil, print out something that you can trace around. And I'm filling the 2-page spread with these shapes. I chose animals that I could make in the rainbow color order so that I have a rainbow of animals on this page. If you don't feel like you can do animals, just choose any shape. It could be hearts, it could be circles, even just squares. The idea is to put letters inside your shape. And back when I was doing this before, I would come up with a clever quote that could fit the animal. But for this one, I'm just doing the animal name because I'm keeping it really simple. Some of them I did not pencil in first, but for this rooster, I decided to pencil it in and see how I could make it fit. And I actually didn't know if this was a chicken or a rooster, but rooster fit in it just fine. So that's why I did rooster. I did use my kneaded eraser before going in with the marker to erase just a little bit so I could still see it, but it wasn't showing through a ton. And I had done that before I inked out the outline of the animals as well, because I didn't want it to be a really strong pencil, because these are a little bit transparent, especially since they're kind of dry, so it's not super inky. For the crocodile, I was trying to decide if I should do crocodile or alligator, and then I saw that this tail was a perfect C, so I had to do crocodile, and I was trying to fit it in just right at the end there. I'm doing the L on the bottom of his mouth and the E kind of stretching it out. It's a little bit hard to read, but I was doing what I wanted, so it works for this. Usually the number one rule when you are fitting in a word inside a shape is that it is legible. So every letter is really, really clear. So on crocodile, that's why it kind of didn't work, but this is my sketchbook and I can practice in here and find the things that don't work. So let yourself just explore and make those mistakes, because you are creating, and that is way better than if you didn't do anything at all. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I got these new pens from Stationery Pal. I looked on Jet Pens and they only have the vacation colors, not the neon ones yet. I'm sure they'll get them sometime. I did recently see that Tokyo Pen Shop has both new sets, so you could get them there as well, depending on where you live, what kind of shipping that you need. And let me know below if you find somewhere else that also has them. So when I was doing the pig here, it was really big, and so I decided I needed to thicken up my letters because it kind of looked weird inside the pig. The pig was very big compared to the other animals. And here is how they all turned out. The yellow is really hard to read. It was such a fun page. I did add little nostrils on the pig because the circle nose was kind of sitting out there on its own and it needed it. For number 4, you know the chessboard pattern that's really popular, but make it wavy. So that was my idea with this one. And I have 3 lines down and then 6 across. And currently my son is in the cute toddler stage where I ask for a hug and he comes and wraps his whole body around me, and it's so cute. And so I wanted to make a page with hugs, 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 because it's just filling filling up my mom heart right now. So I thought to do the every other color, but I still wanted all of the rainbow colors. So that's why I'm switching off between, and I immediately know I'm not liking this. It's not working out. I wanted the letters to kind of fill in to the wiggly shape, but it's not looking like the chest pattern that I wanted. So really, I just need to fill in the whole thing. So maybe in a future video, I will make a page filling in a chest pattern like this, a wavy one, but it's not going to be with these brush pens. They are too small. So you can't do everything with small brush pens, just like you can't do everything with large brush pens. I tried to thicken up my letters to make it seem a little bit better. I was really trying to fix it, but it still didn't quite work out. I mean, I like it. It's not terrible, but it wasn't exactly what I was envisioning. One reason I wanted to challenge myself to fill some pages with only my Pentel brush pens is because I actually have a hard time filling up pages with them since they are so small. I use small brush pens in my other pages, but usually it's just for the lettering. And I use large brush pens to fill up the colorful background. And I don't love the black Pentel brush pen because it's not a really stark black. It's a little faded, like a dark gray. So I have other black small brush pens that I prefer to use instead. So I decided to do another page with hugs and just do a script style this time. I made some wavy lines, and then I'm doing the word hugs along the curve on each of them using the rainbow colors. And this page is working a lot better. I definitely shouldn't have used the kind of dry markers to try and make really chunky letters on the previous page because it was really hard to do. So this one is working. This is the kind of thing that works out really well with these small brush pens. So here is a great idea for you. Choose a word, something that is meaningful for you right now. Any word that's on your mind, and letter it on a curve, just the same word all the way down with different colors. It's a really, really simple way to fill your page. And it's good lettering practice with a small brush pen. Before we get into number 5, let me show you how I usually use these pens, and that's for practice. This is my book, Handlettering for Beginners. When you are first starting out, it can be really helpful to trace lettering worksheets to build your muscle memory. This font I'm tracing is the Florist script in my book, and I'm using tracing paper so I can practice over and over. You can see this is when these small brush pens really stand out. The small brush tip is easier to control than large brush pens, so it takes out some of the struggles of learning to use a brush pen. The flexible tip helps you get thick and thin strokes, and it's definitely a lot more manageable to learn with a small brush pen than with a large brush pen. And that is why I recommend them so much. They are so great for practice. And what I'm learning in this video is that I would prefer a large brush pen to fill up my whole page. But that's why I'm doing this challenge. So moving on to number 5. And by the way, I do have a bonus page for you after. But for this page, you're going to choose one word that you like right now. And I'm going to use the vibrant or vacation colors since I haven't really been drawn to them so far. And because I know these pens work for small things, but I want a big word to fill up this whole spread. So I'm going to do faux calligraphy and leave the downstrokes open. Faux calligraphy is when you are drawing in your thick downstrokes instead of using a brush pen. So wherever there's a downstroke, you add another line to make it thick. And then I'm leaving mine blank, and then I'll add some doodles around the word to fill up the page, but I'm not coloring in anything. It's really light and airy, and I recently heard of this word lagom, and I thought it was perfect for my focus right now. Lagom is a Swedish design concept meaning just the right amount. As I've learned more about minimalism, one misconception is that you have to get rid of everything you own and not have anything. And I've been learning that it's actually more about finding what's enough for you to live your fullest life right now. And that's going to look different for everyone. It's going to be different in different seasons of your life. So I like the term lagom since we all want to find just the right amount for us. I told you there was going to be a bonus page, so here is what I'm going to do. I am laying out my entire collection of the Pentel and I'm putting them in order from what I think they would be. Some of these are kind of hard because they come in those different colored sets. It's not like they're coming in order, and the ones one that I have the hardest time with is the little periwinkle. There's actually 2 periwinkles. I can't quite tell if it should go with the blues or the purples, and the ink might be different. So I'm putting it after the purples, and we'll see when I do the page with all of the colors in order how it looks. So let me know what you think. Where would you put that periwinkle? So for this page, I'm just going to do stripes all the way down. And this is kind of another way to swatch, but also I like seeing rainbow stripes. So doing the small lettering at the top, you can see this is where the brush pens really, really shine. Now, as I'm starting the stripes, I'm realizing that actually these pens do best with short strokes. So lettering, calligraphy is really great, but it's not actually very great when you're doing a constant pull. I have to flip my marker around. The ink somehow runs out if I go too far, and then I have to do it again. But it's fine when I am lettering with it. So I was really surprised because I didn't know that all of my markers were going to be hard to pull across the entire page like this. I can do this with large brush pens, but I can't with these small ones. So they're a lot better for just small lettering. And some of them are a lot harder, like all of the neon ones. But before I said maybe it's just my neon ones, but I don't think it is, because all of them were having a hard time with this. So maybe the neon ones are a little more dry than the rest of the ink colors. But all of them do just fine when I'm lettering, but they all had a hard time with a full stripe. And what do you think? Is this the layout you would do with those colors, that periwinkle? I'd also love to hear your experience with these Pentel brush pens. I hope this gave you some great ideas to fill your notebook with small brush pens today. If you'd like to see my original review with the Pentel brush pens, you can see that right here. Or if you want to fill your notebook with large brush pens, click right here. I'll see you there.